everyone. Welcome to this live session. We have with us Dr. Chetan Ginigeri today. He is the Program Director, Pediatrics at Aster Hospital in Bangalore. He's also the lead consultant in pediatrics and a pediatric intensive care professional. He has about 17 years of experience in pediatrics. So we're so happy to have you today. Thank you.
Thank you, 𝗥𝗲𝗯𝗿𝗀.
We also have Dr. Sushma Gopalan. She has completed her PhD in clinical psychology. She heads the child life services here at Aster CMI Hospital, guiding all the children and families here to get well both physically and mentally. Moving on with the same cue, that's the topic for today. Child life services, something that we've not heard of before, something that's new in Bangalore and new perhaps in the whole country. So let us get right into it. I have a couple of questions for both of them, and we'll welcome the audience also to ask a couple of questions as we go along. So I would like to start with you, Dr. Chetan. What is child life services according to you? What does it entail?
So this whole thing is not something very new as such. Maybe in India it is little new. But when we look at pediatric care across the world, especially the Western world, and where the medical sciences has really grown well, we are looking at much more complex issues to get sorted out, both medically and surgically. We are doing organ transplants, we are doing very complex surgeries, wherein the stay of the patients, especially in this case the children and parents, becomes very unpredictable. The outcomes are unpredictable, the stay becomes unpredictable, the financial stress becomes unpredictable. So complex care does carry that element of unpredictability with it, and also it not only affects their physical health but also the mental emotional health. And with that regard, when we were facing the similar challenges of children and families staying in hospitals, spending a lot of time within the hospital setting, it's also important to address these issues as well. And that's when we got lucky with Dr. Sushma, who is from a child psychology background and who understood the concept of creating a service like this for the benefit of children and their families. And today we have a very big team looking at not only the physical health of the children, but also the mental emotional health, providing them support through the journey of the care that they receive in the hospitals.
So I think indeed a very important service. What do you think, why is it important in the healthcare system to have something like a child life services?
So when we think of the healthcare system and the comprehensive aspect of it, it is not just the physical aspect. So when we look at the mental aspect, it's both interconnected. So when the physical goes down, automatically the mental aspect also goes down. And when there is so much of trauma and stress around a child, so the family is also pulled in. So the entire energy of the entire system goes down. And to act as a bridge between the medical professionals and the family, child life specialists play a crucial role where the mental stress of the family and the child is taken care, so that their approach towards the physical aspect of it is better. So what happens is there's an ease at which even the medical professionals can connect to the family and the children. And this advocacy is something that is taken care by the specialists.
Right. So I like the word that you use, bridge.
Yes.
So that acts as a connection between the medical, the jargons, the very clinical approach to something that's more friendly with children, with families, that's more empathetic.
Exactly. Say for example, you want to tell the family your child has cold and cough. When you put it across in a medical and scientific term, and if the case is severe and you take them to the ward or ICU, the stress is just completely high. It spirals out of control.
Yeah.
But when you come and say, okay, this is cold and cough, this is what it is. When you are talking to them at their level, which the medical health professionals, the doctors cannot do that because they are there to tell them what it is.
Right.
So this bridge is what helps them come to terms with it, and we are there to listen to them.
Right.
And even help the child cope with the difficult phase.
Right. Right. Yeah. Thank you.
To add to that, I think one more thing is when parents and children spend a lot of time in the hospital, there are a lot of unexpressed emotions as such. There is a lot of fear, there is a lot of anxiety, there is a lot of anger, and sometimes these emotional cues are not picked up very well by medical professionals who are very busy and pressed for time.
Absolutely.
And so to have that kind of a conversation and find somebody to have that kind of conversation with the family, hold their hands, to understand deeply what they are afraid about. Sometimes it is genuine anxiety, sometimes it is kind of a perceived anxiety, which is not, may not be the true, and that's why the bridging aspect of what Child Life Services advocate for on patients' behalf, and bring to fore certain other aspects of care which as medical professionals we may have overlooked, makes it much more easy for us to deal with families, deal with their children, and understand and acknowledge and also address their anxieties.
Right.
So that makes it very, very important. So everybody is at ease by the time it's 12, 24 hours into the hospital setting.
Exactly. So to just add on to sir, it's always the small things that matter. When there's a bigger thing, there's a bigger problem, it's always the small things which add to the,
The experience that they have.
So when the little things are taken care,
Yes.
and the hidden agenda of the mental health is taken care, it falls more into place.
I'm curious to know about what age group do you address? Is the service, what is the service apply to all age groups?
So, so put it kind of very simply, we are pediatricians, so we look at children from 0 to 18 years of age. But then a child is never alone in his whole journey of the healthcare. It involves family, it involves extended family, up till grandparents as such. And many of them are to-be mothers also. So pregnant moms who have had maybe kind of an unknown anxiety for them, whatever it is. Then the child who is admitted in the hospital and their families and the extended families, the siblings of the children, and also the primary caretakers in today's day and age where sometimes both parents are working, the primary caretakers are grandparents as such. So everybody needs to be on board with what is happening, why is it happening, what is their understanding, and have they understood the real scenario of the child's health well. So that communication is something which Child Life Services really brings to fore very well.
That's wonderful.
So
That's
the
wonderful.
age group is complete. So we take
Yeah.
care of the entire
Yeah.
lifespan basically.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah. That's lovely.
So womb to tomb is we can say.
Yeah.
So
Lovely.
they
Yeah.
so they are the kind of bridging agents for the whole.
Incredible service. I think adds a lot of value to what we have already. We have a world-class setting here, and I think that this just adds a lot of value to that. So, what role does a child life specialist play? Say, for example, if a child is getting into surgery, or if a child is going into a procedure, what would you tell me about how a child life specialist would address the family in that situation?
Okay, so here always the first contact will be the family. So we first connect to the family and ensure that they are taken care. They are in the mental space to actually accept us. Because directly approaching the child is not something that we do here. So we first connect to the family, understand the ground, and then we connect to the child. And the most simplest way to connect to a child is through play. So we start with play therapy. So we connect to the child through play. As the child starts getting comfortable with us, so does the family. And then depending on what is the next medical procedure or what is the next aspect or the next step that is to be taken, the preparation of the family and child takes place. Some children would like to know what is going to happen. Some children would just like to see a trusted face amongst the others who is there. So depending on what the child wants, depending on what the family wants, child life specialist then will take the role of being there for the child. Play therapy is one form. Art therapy is one form. In some cases, where pain remediation also in terms of music or talking about breathing exercise, guided imagery. There are other techniques which are taught to children at a proper developmental age so that they can take care of the pain. Distraction through play. Sometimes it's, being an outlet for emotions through art. So coloring. And the most simplest form is talking. So sometimes they just need to talk to someone to say how they feel. And in most of the cases, it will be surprising, it's not just the child, it's even the family. They will also want to be a part of the talk therapy. They also want to be part of the play. Because now with all the gadgets that's there and the amount of addiction to phones, when they come to the hospital, children are also using phones as a means of distraction. So when we go with games and play, the entire family comes together. So we have cases where they've actually forgotten for what they have been admitted. They are so engaged with the game. And the interaction with the doctors also changes after that. There is more trust, there is more, how do I say,
Comfort.
Yeah, acceptance of what's happening. So this acceptance is what we have observed in many children and families. And resilience. So through all these coping skill improves, we have seen children and families becoming more resilient, coming to terms, being more accepting. These are some of the answers to all the techniques that we have used.
Sure. And what would you say is a academic or educational qualification that's required for someone who wants to practice as a child life specialist?
Now that we have started, the basics that we are looking for is Masters in Psychology and a little bit of the certification or last semester where they choose child psychology as their background.
Sure.
If they've already passed out and they're only into psychology, then even a certification course, or we offer internships program here where we teach them about the basic developmental ages, what are the different areas, we guide them so that they get the first-hand knowledge and experience here.
So how can you tell me if a family has to request for a child life?
In our department, it is available for everyone who wants it. So, as Sushma was telling that, families sometimes feel very difficult to regulate their emotions. There is a lot of, they are stoic, they don't want to express their vulnerability as such. So, through various creative modes of communication, one of them is play, one of them is just talking and being with the parents as such. That is a good ice-breaking exercise to start with. And then, as doctors, we also kind of convey that some facility and a team like this is available within the hospital premises. It is good to speak out, to express what you feel like, and they will be coming to rounds. They will be engaging in an age-appropriate communication and play with the child, and use that opportunity to voice out if any other unexpressed concerns are there with you. So that is the first step in which we make the families aware, and as kind of the child life service providers go into the wards, into the ICUs, in the outpatient services, and they are engaging children with various modes of play. Then it picks the kind of curiosity of the other parents and children also, and then it's a more of a collaborative effort between the family, child life services, and the medical professionals involved.
Right. Just to add on to so in many cases, doctors have been very sensitive in picking up certain red flags. So when they talk to the patients, they get to know that something is not sitting well. So at that time also we get a reference that okay, you can just connect to the family. So that is one thing where the doctors are actually, it is so nice to see them picking up these sensitive issues and just letting us know that there is something that the family needs. In other cases, we ourselves go voluntary and we connect to the children, and it's astonishing to see that parents are more welcoming also when they see the children actually engaged, and they carry back all these whatever they learn here. For example, if certain play technique is used, they learn more detailing of how to communicate with their children, how to have better interaction, how to make the family dynamics more positive, and they go back. And when they come to for a follow-up with the doctor, they actually come back and tell us how it has helped their family. So it doesn't just stop here. They take it back home and they actually do it and come back with a lot of positive results. So this was one of the good takeaways even we got.
That doesn't end here.
Yes, it doesn't end here. They take it home and it continues.
That's wonderful.
So it's a drop in the ocean. So it is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it overall then helps the main reason why they've come here for a medical procedure or for a health reason. Then that is also addressed.
Yes.
That becomes easier to address.
For example, grief, bereavement, trauma, all these are not on the surface. There are also underlying issues, but they come out in different ways. So sometimes we identify all those also and give them support.
Right. Is this covered under any kind of insurance, sir?
So right now the awareness is less. So we are right now using it as a pro bono service, and then now we have started it. Charging for them because it involves time and effort from the team that's putting in that.
Yeah.
Insurance, there is not much clarity as to the insurance services, whether it's approved or not. But if you want to look at it purely from the other angle, the care provided by the child life services is able to cut down the pain episodes, cut down the duration of stay. The overall experience is much more positive. So the response to treatment is much faster, and the conflicts between the parents and healthcare workers, all that is much more reduced. So overall experience, once it goes up, 2-3 notches above, a minimum charge for their time and effort, I feel, is worth it.
And just to add on to that, when you're in a better frame of mind, instead of getting well, when you're mentally strong, instead of getting well in 5 days, you recover a bit faster. So that also reduces the time of your stay.
So you're kind of making the whole system so more efficient
Yes.
than what it already
Yes.
is.
Yes.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So we know here at Aster we have parents who come in from borders of Andhra, borders of Karnataka. We have mixed populations that come here. How do you think your service, is catered to all of these varying cultural backgrounds, linguistic backgrounds?
So being part of our culture, we are always sensitive to every aspect of whatever background they come from. So we have a team who are also from different backgrounds. So we ensure that each family is met with a culturally similar background, or we equip ourselves so that we are there to cater to their needs, so that nothing is crossed, and where religious and cultural dynamics are there, there is complete ensuring that nothing goes above or beyond. So the language barrier, the cultural barrier, everything is taken into consideration so that the family is met at their ground.
And the patients whom we get here at Aster are very diverse, socioeconomic status,
Yes.
Language, and because we attempt a lot of complex work, our pediatric department is more subspecialty focused work. So pretty much we get referrals from all over India. It can be Jammu Kashmir, it can be Northeast,
Wow.
it can be
Right.
Gujarat and South, and then there are a lot of international patients as well. So even though the services per se is kind of language agnostic, you just need to show care, express care,
Yes.
and most of that language is non-verbal.
Non-verbal. True.
So just the way you approach, just the way you interact with the family and children is enough to put them at ease. And that's still work in progress, and I think with the number of people getting involved in child life services and their maturity level also improves, things will become much more refined.
Sure. Right. Yes. What outcomes and improvements can we expect when child life services is integrated into a pediatric healthcare like this? What outcomes can we expect?
Better patient care, better patient acceptance, where they are aware of what's happening, more awareness for them, more emotional stability, where they feel more connected. Sometimes it's not a complaint aspect, most of them are so emotionally high that they don't listen to what the doctors are saying. So they lose out on words or
Right.
sentences, and when they go back, there's complete chaos. So when that is bridged, they are more at peace. So the most important outcome that we see here is better emotional control, more acceptance, better coping skill for the child and family, resilience, and where the family comes together. See, many families feel that there's a lot of social pressure. There's pressure from relatives, there's pressure from outside. So how to manage that? Inside also they are fighting a battle, outside also they are fighting a battle. And sometimes just a vent is what they look for. So when this system is in place and there's a comprehensive care involved, they also feel heard and seen. That yes, even I am in pain. So it is not a small thing. It can even be, it can just be a cold and cough, but still it's a major thing because it's my child. So when they feel that they are also seen, it at once brings them, calms them down. And they are more confident of managing whatever it is that they are supposed to do. Yes. Yeah.
From a healthcare perspective, as a purely selfish motive, I would say that children and family recover better. Their duration of stay is much shorter. The kind of gap in communication, gap in expression of their issues, whichever is there, which leads on to issues later on at the time of discharge, at the time of billing, those complaints have significantly reduced after we have onboarded a child life services as such. Children are occupied for most of the day, so they eat well, they sleep well. Okay, they are more compliant for any nursing interventions, any injections that is happening, because now understand what exactly is happening. So it is just one small event in the overall long day that they have to spend within a hospital premise.
Right. That's wonderful. Is the service available anywhere else in any other hospital, sir?
May not be it's not available anywhere else in India as such. This is the first service we started it. There are similar services available maybe in adult medicine, in say oncology, and also mental health space where they have counselors to do this job. But in the realm of children, families, and providing them additional mental emotional support while they are recovering from physical illness, no, I don't think any other hospital is running the service as such.
Wonderful. On that note, can we have a closing statement? What do you think, what's the impact that you've created, and what is it that you look forward in the future for child life services?
The future is where I see this widening its horizon. But one thing that I would like to share is that it's a truly joyful experience, because where we are actually seeing, see, there's a lot of mental stigma also associated where we talk about mental health. So people don't want to talk about it. So it's very easy to say that I have a headache, but it is very traumatic to say that I'm not feeling fine, I am feeling very low. So without asking for help, we are there. So we are there and we pick and we are there. So for them also, they get that confidence. So the best outcome that we are seeing is we see a lot of happy families going out. We see families which have come together here. They are built coping skills. They are more accepting, and that's something we are very happy about. We are actually very proud of it. Yeah.
So we truly treat them well.
Yes, we truly treat them well. Yes.
Like our motto.
Yes, of course, yes.
So any closing statements?
No, as doctors, when we alleviate physical pain and physical suffering as such, the care is incomplete till we address the other aspects of care, till we really show that we care, and that is what the Child Life Services has kind of bridged that gap, is able to complete that circle of care, and it gives us the comfort and joy to understand that there is somebody backing us and making things smoother for us as healthcare professionals. And on the other side, there is somebody who is a strong advocate for the patients and the children per se. So most of the times when families come back after recovery to the hospitals, they seek out child life services more than the doctor. So that itself tells us that what an important role they have been playing in their recovery, in their journey in the hospital setting.
That's wonderful. That's great. So I think what I have understood from this service and this talk today is, I know what child life services is. It's a bridge between doctors and families. It's something that a whole family comes in for a procedure and goes back with better physical and mental resilience. So I think I would like to definitely thank Dr. Chetan for this, for pioneering this idea, for bringing it forth to general public, for just having that empathy and that mindset to help families beyond the physical. So we really appreciate that. And thank you, Dr. Sushma, for your passion and for your commitment. It's really something, it's very inspirational and incredible. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.